Welcome to the Fantasy Football Bandwagon. And now your hosts, Nolan and Braden.
Welcome to the Fantasy Football Bandwagon Podcast.
¿Qué pasó?
¿Qué pasó, amigos? I am, mi nombre es Nolan. That is, what is your name?
Braden. My name is
Tell me what it
Braden.
is. I don't know who you are. I've never met you before in my life.
Soy Braden.
Soy de Tejas. Something like that, right?
Sure.
I don't know. My wife is a Spanish teacher, and she's not going to be happy with this episode.
My wife is from Venezuela, and
And
she's
Spanish.
going to shun me. Yep.
And not going to be happy with this episode.
Nope.
What week is it, Braden? We're going into week 4.
It's almost quarter of the way through the season.
Yeah, that's when you say it like that. Yeah, we are. We've made it. Football has happened.
We've
It's
got
been
our
there.
we've got our first COVID hit.
So far, I'm mostly disappointed with my teams. I'm not gonna lie to you. How are your teams holding up?
I am faring okay.
I would say half of them you're okay. Half of them I've seen you at the bottom of the league. So.
There's one that I'm at the very bottom, and there's almost no hope for me because I drafted Michael Thomas and Galladay and a bunch of people that I haven't played.
Yeah, thanks for jumping on the bandwagon, guys. You've stuck through us a quarter of the way through the season. It's really cool. We
Stuck
appreciate
through
it.
us.
We appreciate the love. You stuck it right through us, right there. Don't forget to go follow us on social media if you have not already at FF Bandwagon on Twitter and Instagram, and then the Fantasy Football Bandwagon.
Did you forget what we were
Yeah, the Fantasy Football Bandwagon page on Facebook.
Hey, and also the Fantasy Football Bandwagon on YouTube.
Yes.
Hit that subscribe button and the bell right next to it.
Yeah. That way you get it'll pop up on your phone whenever the video goes live. Usually they go live on Tuesday mornings for our waiver wires and Friday mornings for our previews.
Yep, our
Which
game
is what we're doing right now.
game previews, start sits,
Week 4 previews.
going down, big trust. Woo
woo. Right?
Yep,
Horns down.
horns down.
If you don't know what that means, you don't live in Texas.
Yep.
Braden, some big news happened today.
Yeah, so
Like monumental, never before happened in a long time news.
we had our first COVID strike.
COVID has happened in the NFL.
Yep.
It's ruined the lives of 14 people in 2 teams. I'm one of those 14 people. I'm just kidding. I don't have any of these players.
I am definitely I had to sit 4 people.
That's a
This
big deal.
week.
So the Titans had an outbreak of COVID in their facility and on their team. So far, it's not been any big name offensive fantasy players that actually have contracted COVID, but it's been significant enough throughout the team and the staff that the Titans game between the Titans and Steelers this week is not happening. Very important for you to know this. If you don't get updates on your phone or something like that, this game is not happening this week. All your Steelers players and all your Titans players are not playing this week. It's essentially going to be their bye week.
Yeah, you need to just treat it as their bye week, and you gotta find players to input, to plug and play. It's not gonna be easy. Like, it may cost you the week, but it is what it is. And you know, we knew this was a possibility coming into the season.
Yes.
So
Some people are saying, hey, Titans aren't playing because of COVID. Can I move Derrick Henry to my COVID IR spot? No. Unless he actually has COVID, you can't move him to your spot.
well,
It's just being treated as a bye week
yeah,
for players that don't
I
actually
will
have
say
COVID.
I've only seen one platform has done this. Sleeper has now put COVID next to every single player's name that was in that game.
They've done that?
Every single
Well,
player
and
has COVID next to
Sleeper
it.
actually said today, though, that unless they are designated by the league as COVID status, that you cannot put them on your COVID IR spot because Derrick Henry's not actually sick with COVID. Their team is just on a bye week essentially this week.
Yeah,
Is how that happened.
But they did every single person from that game has COV next to their name.
But I
But
still
other
don't think you're able to
platforms-
move them to the COVID spot unless they're actually designated by the league. It's a league designation this year that if your player has tested positive, that they're on a separate list from all the other players. Your Steelers players,
I just put him on there.
who?
I just put Jonu on the COVID list.
Really?
Yep.
Huh. Well, sleepers, I thought they said they weren't.
But that's what I'm saying. It's only sleeper. So
yeah, most platforms I wouldn't expect to do that, and that may change with sleeper because Jonas Smith doesn't actually have COVID. It's just being treated as a bye. Steelers players, the same thing. None of them have actually contracted COVID, but they were set to play the Titans.
However, if you are on a sleeper platform, it is important that you take advantage of that because that allows you to pick up somebody that you might need without having to drop somebody.
Yes.
So
this hurts a lot of people. James Conner, Ben Roethlisberger, Juju, all these guys, you can't play them this week, and it's a little early. I don't believe buys start until next week, actually. Week 5 is when buys actually start.
Yep.
So this game is postponed. It's not canceled. I don't know if I mentioned that, but it's postponed. It's going to most likely happen later in the season. From what I've heard the best scenario is, I believe, week 8 is Pittsburgh's bye and Baltimore's bye. They're set to play each other week 7, I believe. Tennessee's bye is week 7. So what I think they're going to do is Pittsburgh and Baltimore will move from week 7 to week 8.
and then have the bye on.
Well, Pittsburgh's bye is right now. Baltimore will move their bye to week 7, and Pittsburgh and Tennessee will play week 7. Is probably the best case scenario of what's most likely to happen.
Yeah, we're gonna let the smart people figure that out.
Yeah, that's not me. I'm not that person. So you're not losing a game from these players. So don't freak out. You're not only getting 15 games out of Derrick Henry. He should still get you 16 games. It's just going to be later in the season. It's just count it as a normal bye week. Got anything else to add to that? It's very strange. The Vikings,
really.
they were monitoring the Vikings because they played the Titans right before the positives came out, but no Vikings players or staff members have come down with COVID. You're not too worried about that yet, but it's something to monitor because they are not able to go into their facility yet.
The only thing I would add to that is pay attention to your other platforms and see what they do as a progression to this. So, like Sleeper just did that. It wasn't like that earlier today.
Yeah, I believe they just changed it.
Yeah, they just did that. So if other platforms start to follow suit, it's important that you take advantage of that. So just pay attention.
But also be prepared to, if they swap it and they say, hey, not all Titans players are COVID anymore, you have to put them back because they don't actually have COVID. You have to be ready to drop somebody to move Joe.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine, but take advantage of it while you have it.
Yeah, that's a big deal. That hasn't happened in quite a while. Brandon, we have some injuries, as we do literally every episode.
This is
because people are always hurt.
I don't think the injury lists have ever been this big.
And we had a big injury list last episode, but we pretty much erased that and started a new injury list with different people on it. It's something new.
It's not the same people.
Philip Lindsay, Broncos running back, they are currently playing right now against the Jets. That game is pretty much a mess so far. He's not playing tonight, which is fine. I picked him up. Now is when I've seen him dropped in a lot of places. Mm-hmm. He's one of my guys for coming into the season that I feel like you're still going to get some production out of. I've went and picked him up in almost every league I've seen him dropped in because I need running back help in almost all those places.
Yep.
And he's one Melvin Gordon injury away from being a starting running back. Yeah. So Philip Lindsay's a good guy to go pick up.
And he's got value. Standalone value.
He does. So. I believe he does have standalone value. He's going to kick, what's his name, Royce Freeman to the curb and come back in there. Alan Lazard. Last Monday's.
Philip Lindsay should be good to go next week.
Yes. I skipped the whole reason we were talking about him. Alan Lazard, last Monday's playmaking hero.
Yeah.
Surprisingly had a core muscle surgery today and is out indefinitely.
Yeah, what was up with that? That was like
Well, I'm pretty sure he was our big waiver pickup on Tuesday. So yeah, you can probably you're safe dropping Lazard at this point.
what was weird was there was no news of this.
Yeah, it was very strange.
It
Came out
happened
today.
like just I don't know, 15 minutes ago.
You're safe dropping Lazard at this point.
Yeah,
We don't know how long he's out. You can drop Lazard
at this point. You need somebody. You're probably
drop
in a
Lazard and go
position-
pick up MVS.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's probably the play right there.
Hey, you know what? We changed our pickup of the week from Lazard to MVS. So go get him right now.
And MVS is still sitting there, so take advantage of this news and go get him now. George Kittle.
Actually, well, let me. No, I'm just joking.
Don't you do it. George Kittle's ready to rock this weekend. George Kittle said he is 100% playing this weekend.
Dude, I'm excited to see the Kittler back.
The Kittler. The Skittle?
The Skiddler. The Ski Diddler.
Jimmy Garoppolo and Raheem Mostert both did not practice today. I think I read Jimmy Garoppolo is probably not a go this weekend. Raheem Mostert, we haven't heard a whole lot on him.
I probably would not plan on him playing.
Yeah, I would also assume that he is not playing. Jerick McKinnon, though, was full participant for practice. I think they mostly held him out last week when he got hurt because they were blowing out the Giants and they didn't really need him. So
yes.
I expected some McKinnon and Jeff Wilson again this week is who I expect. I still have Jeff Wilson on my roster. Not really 100% sure if I'm playing him this week, starting him, but we'll get to that here in a little bit. Sean McVay said he would be surprised if Cam Akers plays this week, Braden.
Yeah, I figured.
What are you doing with Cam Akers at this point?
I feel like you're holding him.
Are you, though?
If you've held him this long, you're going to hold him for another week.
Okay.
And if you see him on the waiver, what are you doing? I'm picking him up.
I'm not picking him up. It's Darrell Henderson's job right now.
Yeah, I just don't. It's not going to stay like that.
Cam Akers is the third running back in that committee right now. Even when he's healthy.
I would argue that Cam Akers comes back and he's the second.
I don't know. Well, I still think it's Darrell Henderson's job, and he's getting the bulk.
Darrell Henderson's the one for sure, but I'm stashing Cam Akers. Obviously, Nolan's dropping him.
Yeah, I'm probably dropping Cam Akers for somebody that I can actually use that's going to get more work and is healthy.
Okay.
So, Will Fuller, nothing new. Added to the injury report with hamstring. This guy.
Dude, this is
everybody who's played fantasy in the last few years knows Will Fuller is that guy.
Man, I'm just like laughing because the entire Texans offense, wide receiver core is just.
I'm pretty sure we have a bet on who's going to score more fantasy points, and I picked Will Fuller and you picked Brandon Cooks, and right now we both look stupid because they both suck.
Can we just
They both suck.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with the Texans. It's really crazy. Will Fuller, you're not dropping Will Fuller. You're not. Will Fuller is the guy that you keep hurt on your roster because when he's not hurt, he can score 50 points on your roster. So you're not dropping Will Fuller. Just hold on to him in your deep bench. DJ Chark's been limited, Braden. Didn't play last week. What are you doing with DJ Chark? If he plays, are you starting him?
Probably, yes. I feel like you're going to be forced
Who
to.
do they play this week?
Unless you have a better option, you're going to start him.
I feel like you should probably have a better option at this point, honestly. They play the Bengals. I'm not dropping him, but I don't know that I'm starting him this week, even if he's healthy, because he's not going to be fully healthy. I don't believe. Calvin Ridley, number one wide receiver in fantasy football right now. Showed up on the injury report. I didn't actually see what it said he was on the injury report for. Did you?
I did not.
You should look that up. You're starting Calvin Ridley.
I don't think it went. Yeah, it didn't go into specifics.
If Calvin Ridley plays, you're starting him. At this point,
it's not.
At this point, he's more of a.
It's not anything serious.
At this point, he's more of a staple than we came into the season believing. He's proven that he's. Would you say he's right there with Julio on his team at this point?
Do I think he's as good as Julio? No.
Yeah, I don't either. But at this point on the Falcons in 2020,
yeah,
it's Calvin Ridley and Julio.
Would you rather have Calvin Ridley or Julio right now?
Right now, probably Calvin Ridley.
I would rather have Calvin Ridley.
Probably Calvin Ridley.
And we say that with the full expectation that Julio can come back and be the number one again. So,
well, I don't even think he hasn't not become the number one. Julio obviously sat out last week with a hamstring injury, but we'll get to it here in just a minute, but Julio's my start of the week this week. He didn't play last week. He had a crap week before that. And Julio's that guy who Calvin Ridley's showing up right now, but Julio could, just like that, have 250 yards in one game and a touchdown.
Yeah.
And then score you 50 fantasy points.
Minus the touchdown. He doesn't do those.
Yeah, well, okay. He could have 250 yards easy and still outscore Calvin Ridley, who scores like
it still
two touchdowns.
blows my mind how that man can have 250 yards and no touchdowns.
Calvin Ridley will be fine. Julio, I think, will be fine. I'm holding on to him unless I can get a bunch back for him. Odell Beckham added to the injury report with a back injury. I'm not really worried about him, I guess.
Which I do want to – I will add I'm not worried about Odell or Calvin Ridley. Moving on to there, I want to say something else about Julio. This is a good buy low opportunity.
Yes, I agree.
So I realize that you're probably a little worried, but you need to buy low on Julio. If you can get a good deal for him, do it.
Julio is still a stud wide receiver in this league. He's not Larry Fitzgerald yet. Larry Fitzgerald used to be a stud wide receiver. Now he's just kind of the guy that catches a few balls and doesn't really do much. Julio's not there yet. No, Julio's still the guy, like I said, that can score 250 or catch 250 yards for 10 catches in a game. It's ridiculous. Or he can do 250 yards on 4 catches. He's that guy.
Yep.
Him and Russell Gage both participated in practice today. Russell Gage also left with a head injury. I still think all three of these pass catchers are viable options. Russell Gage, a flex. Julio and Calvin Ridley are wide receiver ones at this point. Yeah. I still believe Julio's a wide receiver one at this point. Every Eagles pass catcher.
Okay, DJ Chark or Russell Gage?
Russell Gage.
Wow.
I'm going Russell Gage.
Okay. All right. I had to test you from earlier.
He didn't have like a core muscle injury. He went out with a head injury. It's not something like his leg's going to bother him all game.
Yeah, I had to test you.
They're playing the Packers this week, and we'll get to that when we get to that matchup. But, I mean, we've seen what the Falcons can do. This has a high over-under for this game. Every Eagles pass catcher's hurt, like always. Really?
Alshon won't be back this week?
Alshon, I don't believe, is playing this week. Dallas Goedert's out. Dallas Goedert's on IR. Zach Ertz is really – I don't want to say he's the only one to own because I believe Greg Ward is literally the only – I saw a report today. He's literally the only Eagles wide receiver on the roster that is not on the injury report. Greg Ward. I think he's a –
That's – yeah. Yeah, don't
I think if you need some wide receiver help and you need a flex, I think you can flex Greg Ward this week. Who else on that team besides Zach Ertz?
It's Zach Ertz and Greg Ward and Miles Sanders show.
Yeah, exactly, at this point. So Greg Ward could help you out a little bit. I've stashed Greg Ward on a few rosters just because he's the number one wide receiver at this point.
Yep.
On his team. Leonard Fournette, actually, some big news too. It says could be out, but I believe he's out this Sunday.
Yeah.
So big opportunity here for Ronald Jones, Braden.
It is. He's got the chance to have a day, and we'll see what happens. But he really needs to kick that Leonard Fournette.
Kick the tires?
Kick the tires on. Yeah, he needs to kick the Leonard Fournette to the curb.
They were playing the Chargers this week. So they still have some pass rush going on there.
I honestly don't think that, you need to play Ronald Jones this week. But even if Ronald Jones has a great day, I do not believe Leonard Fournette will not be involved. Leonard Fournette will 100% be involved the entire season.
Yes. Chris Carson and Zach Moss both have a chance to play. Have practiced this week. We all saw what happened to Chris Carson last week. Got his knee twisted up on a dirty play. Do you expect much from Chris Carson this week? Do you expect him to play?
If he's playing, Are you
starting him?
I'm starting him. Yeah.
Okay. I still think Carlos Hyde might be a decent
he may get
running back play this week.
He may get some work.
Chris Carson, I'm sure they're going to monitor his knee. So Carlos Hyde may be a safe running back play this week, I think. Unless
Chris Carson, it really just wasn't that bad. And he's actually healed.
Zach Moss is kind of what he has been, splitting time with Devin Singletary. So that's what you're getting from him.
Devin Singletary had a good game last game.
Devin Singletary did, which I didn't.
He
I
actually
didn't think he was the guy to own.
he
in
actually
Buffalo this
looked
year,
good. So that's something to watch out for. We'll see how they use Zach Moss moving forward.
but exactly. Le'Veon Bell, the Jets. Le'Veon's targeting week 5 return. Not he's targeting, but he can come off IR after this week, I believe. I still have Le'Veon on my roster.
Me too.
My big money league, I have Le'Veon on my team. He was my number 1 running back. I'm a little more.
No, we're not doing this again.
Woo, I'm happy he's had a few weeks to recover. He's been on IR. We'll see what happens. I don't know that I'm playing him week 5. The first week he can play, I don't know that I'm playing him. I kind of want to see how they use him in that game.
If he says I'm 100% good to go, are you playing him?
If he says I'm 100% good to go, I'm still not playing him week 5.
Wow.
Not because of him, because of the Jets.
Because of Adam Gase.
Yes,
What
because
if
of
the
the
Gase
Jets.
hole's fired?
If the Gase hole gets fired, then I'm playing Le'Veon Bell.
Me too, dude. I'm playing him everywhere.
Because
I'm
the
buying
next,
low. I'm doing everything.
Because the next coach coming in will probably realize, hey, Le'Veon Bell's the best player on my team. So that's what I would think.
I'm just excited for that day.
Tell me about Kareem Hunt and Michael Thomas, Brandon.
I think they're both going to be fine.
What's happening? Is that water?
Yes, this is 100% water. All right, so Kareem Hunt popped up on the injury list. They aren't deeming it to be serious. So I mean, I just monitor it for Sunday. That's really my only advice with that. I expect him to play. All right, and Michael Thomas back at practice. He still probably won't play this week, but it's good progression. It's good to see a little bit of progression from him. I would expect him to be back next week.
I agree. If you're wondering how this glass of water got here and how we magically weren't in the same place, I almost died again. I don't know why this happens to me. It's allergies.
We
And,
had Nolan issues.
That's why, yeah. We didn't have technical difficulties. We had Nolan difficulties.
Nolan difficult.
Sam Darnold. It's worth mentioning. Not that anybody should be starting Sam Darnold at all. But if you did start him, he probably got you more points than any of the Jets running backs tonight. He's playing tonight. I believe he had like a 57-yard touchdown run here just a little bit earlier.
And then the Gase hole
run.
struck.
And then
Gase said, "You're doing too good. You have to get hurt."
yeah, and then he got hurt. So Joe Flacco's currently in the game. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Braden, we actually had a question this week from A-Ray 1994.
All right.
He has DeAndre Hopkins. This is like an 8-man league, I believe.
Okay. It's
It
got to
has-
be.
it has to
It's
be.
got to be with his.
He has DeAndre Hopkins, who he's automatically starting. And then he has Amari Cooper, Robert Woods, and Tyler Lockett. Which one of those 3 guys? I guess let's give him 2. Which 2 of those guys does he play?
Obviously.
He could most likely play another wide receiver and a flex.
All right. So you're playing D-Hop.
You're playing D-Hop.
I am. Lockett is. I feel like you have to play Lockett. He's my number 2.
Really?
Yep.
I would play Amari and Lockett. I would probably go Amari. I would probably go Lockett 1, Amari, and then Woods.
That's
Woods might be
That's
a little
where I'm at.
safer than Amari, but playing the Giants like the Rams are, they could just run the ball into the ground with Darrell Henderson.
yeah. That's how I put it. I Lockett first, Amari second, and Woods third.
So you may get some more upside with Amari and Lockett than you would with Woods, but I feel like Woods is safe also. So this could be a 6-man league because I don't know how you got all 4 of those guys. But yeah, I honestly feel like you're safe either way. You can play any of those guys, but I'd probably play Lockett over the other 2.
Yep.
Braden, let's get into starts. Our gold starts. Like a gold star, those sticker.
Gold. Yeah.
Here's your little gold start.
Are we gonna start carrying those? Are we gonna bring those?
I'm sure your wife
and
has probably has some around here.
I
somewhere.
have an idea. We can get a bunch of gold stars and have something right here, and every time we get one right, we can put a gold star on there.
Oh yeah, we'd have a decent amount of
We
gold stars.
can
Okay,
figure out something
we'll
like
get
that.
it. Brainstorming on the show. My start of the week start, my gold start, is Michael Gallup, which is why I'm a little bit down on Amari Cooper. Not down.
Yeah.
I'm not really down on Amari Cooper, but Michael Gallup, he had finally his good breakout game last week against Seattle. I just think the Browns secondary is not great.
Yeah.
And I think Michael Gallup's the Cowboys like to throw the ball.
They love it. They love
It's
to throw
weird.
the ball.
It's a weird year for Zeke, but the Cowboys are throwing the ball a lot. I honestly feel like this game, I feel like it's going to be a shootout. I do. For whatever reason.
If we don't beat the Browns by like at least a touchdown and a half, I'm going to be upset.
I say it'll be a shootout, but the Cowboys secondary is not great. The Browns secondary is not all that great either. So I just feel like Michael Gallup's the deep threat on this team.
I like it.
So Michael Gallup's my start of the week, who I have in a couple leagues. And then I mentioned Julio Jones. He's going to be back. He's going to be Julio Jones again. So I'm not really concerned about Julio this week. Yeah, those are my gold starts.
I like it.
Not that you weren't starting Julio. Well, I know some people are concerned. And I say he's a gold start, it's Julio. And some people are like, oh, nobody would sit Julio anyways. You have to think about it. Some people were getting close to thinking about it. He didn't play and then had a bad game. And they're playing the Packers this week. So what do you think about Julio?
Yeah, I mean, obviously if Julio's playing, I'm starting him. But I could not blame somebody for having the hesitation of starting him coming back from an injury. So that's Nolan's just giving you more of a reassuring start him. You know, don't outthink yourself.
Yeah, don't overthink it. You drafted Julio where you drafted him for a reason.
So, all right, mine are Devontae Parker playing Seattle because Seattle's secondary gets torched no matter who they play.
Yeah, they have a lot of injuries on defense, and
I will say their corners get torched because I have a contradictory sit here in a minute.
oh, okay.
So Devontae Parker, start him. He's going to have a great week. James Robinson. This man has solidified himself as the starter.
In Jacksonville.
Jacksonville.
Yeah. It's his job to lose. I don't think he's going to lose it.
They're playing Cincinnati.
Yeah. Who got ran over by the Browns.
Who got ran
And the
over by the
Eagles.
Browns. And the Eagles had a good day. And he is using the passing game as well. So he's going to be part of the wins, part of the losses, everything. He's a surefire starter for me moving forward.
Yeah, definitely. Would you rather have James Robinson or Joe Mixon, Braden, at this point in the season?
At this point in the season, I would probably sit Joe Mixon for James Robinson.
If you have Mixon, would you trade Mixon for James Robinson?
Straight up,
Yeah.
no. You could get because you could get more value.
Out of Mixon?
Yes.
I don't know at this point in the season that you can get more value.
I think you could get more value than just James Robinson.
We'll see. Do you have James Robinson? I'll trade you Mixon for Robinson.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. You don't have Robinson.
No, I don't, but
I was trying to think of a clever name for sits, but bench warmers.
oh, that's a clever name.
The bandwagoners. I'm just kidding. My sits, I want to say 3. Ravens running backs. There are too many running backs in this backfield to get consistent value out of one of them. Plus, Lamar Jackson is a 4th running back, essentially, on the team.
The number one.
Yes. And they are playing the Washington football team this week, whose pass rush is decent. Their pass rush isn't bad. Lamar Jackson's going to get out of there. He's not going to wait around. He's going to get out of there, run the ball himself this week.
Yep.
And I just don't. I've had Mark Ingram. I just traded Mark Ingram, actually. Just because you're not going to get consistent value. I think it's going to be like this all year. You're not going to get consistent value out of Mark Ingram, J.K. Dobbins. Gus Edwards is in this backfield and is productive in this backfield as well. So I'm sitting these guys. They're not worth playing to. You should have a better option somebody that has more opportunity than one of these players in this backfield.
Unless you're me and Nolan and you only have Marking.
Yeah, unless you didn't draft any running backs at all in your draft.
But
I'm also sitting.
yeah, I you're not happy with the Ravens running backs.
No,
to this
definitely
point,
not.
so.
For a run-heavy offense, you're not getting what you drafted out of this offense. I'm also starting in the same game, sitting in the same game. Would you sit Terry McLaurin? Because he's on my sit list.
Man,
He's on my sit list, Braden.
sit list. Yeah, I like
Sit
it.
list. He's going to be playing the Ravens. This team is going to be angry after they lost to the Chiefs. This defense got torched by Patrick Mahomes. Marlon Humphreys just got a contract. Signed it today.
Dwayne Haskins sucks.
Dwayne Haskins sucks. This team, I feel like this defense is going to be angry. And I
Yeah.
feel like Terry McLaurin and Dwayne Haskins are not going to have a good day. So I'm sitting Terry McLaurin.
All right.
And the Patriots running backs. Don't let them get your hopes up like they did last week.
Yeah.
You're still not starting a Patriots running back. James White is back at practice.
Don't play Burkhead, please.
Yeah, don't play those guys this week. They're not going to do what they did last week.
Yep. All right.
Who's on your sit list, Braden?
My sit list here in week 4 is Todd Gurley playing Green Bay. I have a feeling that the Falcons are not going to be ahead in this game.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
And with that being said, Todd Gurley has not been used in the passing game for some
At all.
For some reason. I have no idea why that is. One of the best pass-catching running backs in the league is not being used as a pass catcher.
Yeah, they like to use their backups
Do
to
not
drop the ball.
if you have a better option, you need to sit Todd Gurley this week. He hasn't been productive in the running game. They're not using him in the passing game. His backup, Brian, I forgot his last name. Brian Hill got a quarter of the work last week.
It's very strange.
So I'm not comfortable with it. I would not take. Yeah, it's just.
I actually sat Todd Gurley last week.
It could be
that
one of
one
those.
kind of bit me in the ass a little bit, but I can see you sitting Todd Gurley.
Yeah. And here's my contradictory. Mike Gesicki. I just said that.
Sticky Gecko?
Sticky. Oh yeah, Sticky Gecko. I just said
Like
that
Sticky Gecko.
to start. You might be saying, why? Why are you saying?
Why are you saying
Why are you saying this?
Why would you start Devontae Parker and sit Mike Sticky Gecko?
Exactly. Well, you know what? It's because Seattle's cornerbacks are trash.
Their linebackers are
but their
not.
linebackers are not trash.
Have you ever heard of Bobby Wagner?
So and also they do have a good safety. I'm not sure if he's playing or not. I know he got hurt.
Jamal Adams.
Well, they have 2 good safeties. I correct myself. They have 2 good safeties. Both of them actually got hurt last week. I'm sure. I think they're both playing, but regardless, Sticky Gecko is a sit for me.
Okay, I can see it. Let's go ahead and jump into the matchups, Braden. Let's go through it. Currently, right now, the Broncos are at the Jets, and it is a stink fest. Thursday Night Football is a stink fest this year. It's 10-10, a couple backup quarterbacks, a couple second-string offenses.
Why would they put this? Can they not flex games this early in the season?
I'm pretty sure they picked this game. They pick all these before, and they're like, oh, yeah, the Broncos and Jets are going to be good. Let's put them on Thursday night together.
Oh, yeah, they're so good.
I don't know, man.
That was a terrible. NFL, get your shit together.
Get your shit together. It's freaking crazy. Ravens at football team.
We didn't even say anything about that game. I don't even want to talk about it.
Well, it's happening right now. I can't do anything about it.
I know, it's funny, though.
I think the Jets win this game.
I don't.
I think this is like the only game they win.
I think the Broncos win. I don't think.
Backups versus backups.
I don't think the Gase Hole is able. I don't think he is physically able to win a football game.
I think the Jets win, but I hope they lose so they fire Adam Gase and I can start Le'Veon Bell in my fantasy team.
Me too.
Yeah. Ravens at football team. I said I'm sitting the Ravens running backs. If
Yes.
I have a more solid option, which I feel like if you have another running back on your team, he's probably a more solid option than one of these guys because you're just rolling the dice. Lamar Jackson has had not the year he had last year.
He had a stinker last game.
It is worth noting, I think I told you earlier, Joe Burrow actually has more fantasy points than Lamar Jackson this year.
With that being said, Lamar Jackson owners are freaking out.
Yeah.
They are freaking out. I got a trade earlier, and granted, he tried to trade rate me, but he wants to trade Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
So
If you need a quarterback, if you have somebody like Kyler or Cam or Dak or Josh Allen, you don't need Lamar Jackson, right?
right.
So if you have one of those quarterbacks, I'm not trying to trade for Lamar Jackson because I don't need him. You can only
Right.
start one quarterback unless you can start two quarterbacks. But if you can only start one quarterback, you don't need Lamar Jackson. But if you have somebody like Ben Roethlisberger or Matthew Stafford,
Ryan
Fitzpatrick, go try to get Lamar Jackson for
Yeah,
cheap.
exactly. That's my thoughts. So
Yeah, I would do that. Are you starting Marquise Brown and Mark Andrews, who both have not done really much at all? They both had bad games last week against the Chiefs.
Marquise Brown's a little tougher for me.
This offense
He's
is just not what it was last year.
Man, they don't, and even last year, they don't use their wide receivers a whole lot. Like, they just don't. Their offense is not built around that. And that's what worries me. He will have his blow-up games. It's going to be hard to predict.
This week, I'm okay flexing Marquise Brown. Mark Andrews, I feel like you have to start.
He's
a top 5 tight end.
He should have had a touchdown last week.
Exactly.
He dropped it. He will not drop those.
It was a bad drop.
Very often. So
football team. Antonio Gibson at this point. Well, actually, against the Ravens.
It's just
the Ravens.
You said football team with a straight face, like
football team.
Like there's 15 million football teams.
Yeah, Braden, in this game against the Ravens, I don't think I'm starting any of my football team players. I don't think I'm doing it.
Me neither. Yeah, I'm
Gibson
good.
Or Logan Thomas or Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good against the Ravens defense.
I'm not sitting any of my football team players.
You are sitting them.
Yeah. That's what I meant. Chargers at Buccaneers. Where are you going with the Chargers? What are you doing with the Chargers? Justin Herbert is still, as far as we know, the starter.
My big question is going to be geared more towards Joshua Kelly, because last game they used Austin Eckler like he should have been used the entire year.
Yes.
So the big question is, are you playing Joshua Kelly? Because I'm not sure if they're going to use him like they were in the first two games.
I don't think I am. It's Austin Eckler's backfield. I don't think the first couple weeks in a season are always weird like that. Nyheim Hines, week 1, has a huge game and then doesn't get the ball after that because it was a fluke. They're still figuring out what they're doing with their offense to start the season. I think Josh Kelly will get a little bit of work, but he's not going to be –
I don't think he's going to get 26 carries like he did.
No, I don't think so either. He's definitely not. It's Austin Eckler and Keenan Allen that you're starting. Keenan Allen saw 19 targets last week.
Insane.
I believe we mentioned it last episode, but with Justin Herbert in, Keenan Allen is –
and it is worth noting
going up.
that Mike Evans did get hurt. He got sick. No, Mike Evans. I mean not Mike Evans. Mike Williams.
Mike Williams, yes.
I don't know why I said Mike Evans. Mike Williams did get hurt during that game, and so that could have, Keenan probably doesn't get 19 targets if he's still in, but he's still getting the majority.
Yes. I believe we also forgot to mention that Chris Godwin, I think, is out this week.
We did?
Yeah. Well, look it up right now. Chris Godwin, I believe, is out this week. Mike Evans is really your only guy here. With Chris Godwin out, Leonard Fournette out, who's getting the ball? Honestly, it's Mike Evans, and I could honestly see a little bit of Gronk. This could be a Gronk game, a weird Gronk game that there's not a lot of other options on this team at that point. Ronald Jones is going to be the workhorse back in the backfield. I'm not worried about Shady McCoy. Leonard Fournette is out, like we said. What'd you come up with?
Yeah, he's hurt. He's out.
Okay.
And he's potentially out week 5 as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Chris Godwin's out. Mike Evans is your target there. You're starting Mike Evans. Are you starting Tom Brady at this point in the season? I don't think I am.
No.
I think I'm finding. Well, okay. In one of my dynasty leagues, I have Daniel Jones, Matthew Stafford, and Tom Brady. I'm starting Tom Brady this week over Matthew Stafford
Man.
because Stafford's playing the Lions.
Stafford
Or
plays.
Stafford's playing the Saints.
Plays for the Lions.
Yes.
Yes. That's tough. Yeah, that's tough. It's between I would probably play Stafford. I would take the chance just for the upside, but
I mean, you might be right, but I think there's a little more upside in this game, even with Godwin out. Like I said, I think this is a sneaky Gronk game where Gronk could fall into 9 catches and 2 touchdowns for whatever reason.
yeah,
Mike Evans won't have 2 catches for 2 yards for 2 touchdowns this week. He's going to have more than that.
he may have 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he may have 2 touchdowns. I think he has more yards than that,
Yeah.
obviously.
Okay.
Who wins this game? The Ravens obviously win the last game. Who wins this game? I think the
Chargers.
I'll go with the Chargers. I think
Yeah,
the
I'm
Chargers
going
might win this
Chargers.
game. Bucks defense is pretty solid, but well, actually, I'm going to pick the Bucks because they're at Tampa Bay.
I'm picking Chargers.
I'll pick the Bucks because
Justin Hebert.
Rainbow Sherbert.
Rainbow Sherbert.
Yeah, Rainbow Sherbert. Seahawks at Dolphins. Sea Chickens.
Moving
at
from Sherbert to Sticky Gecko.
the Sea Chickens at the Chicken of the Sea. Right?
Yeah.
No, that's not even a thing.
Something
That's
like
not
that.
a thing. Russell Wilson, you're starting. You are playing all of your Seahawks.
Everybody on this offense.
Even Carlos Hyde, I feel like is solid. Chris Carson,
I feel like he can. Yeah,
If he
he can
plays,
be.
you're
fle-
starting
he
Chris
can be
Carson?
flexed.
yeah. You're starting
No,
Chris Carson. if
I'm
he
talking
plays?
about Carlos Hyde can be flexed.
Yes.
Chris Carson, you're starting if he plays.
You could even start Greg Olson if you wanted to.
Yeah. Who that?
Yeah, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett are studs so far this year. It's kind of ridiculous. Who's on the
Moving
Dolphins?
on to the
Yeah, who's
Dolphins.
on this Dolphins team? Myles Gaskin, running back. You
Um,
comfortable starting him week in,
Yes,
week
I'm
out at
actually
this point?
starting him in one of my leagues. So
Okay.
he is being used in both the passing work and the running work.
He got vultured a touchdown by Jordan Howard. We had a Jordan Howard sighting, but
Very
Jordan Howard
upsetting.
has done that his whole career. Just come in for 2 yards and get the touchdown and not really do any of the work.
Yes.
Braden's starting Devontae Parker. He's sitting
Sticky
Sticky Gecko. What about Fitzpatrick? I've seen a couple people pick up Fitzpatrick in some of our leagues, especially with Ryan Tannehill and Ben Roethlisberger being out.
I have been forced to, and I think that Fitzpatrick will have a good game this week.
Okay.
I think that it's a Devontae Parker 2-touchdown week.
Devontae Parker show. Okay. Braden's starting Fitzpatrick. Who wins the game?
Seahawks.
Seahawks win this game. Okay. You I also picked the Seahawks. Tell me about this next game, Braden.
Vikings at Texans. So we got Mr. Kirk Cousins himself with a Justin Jefferson that had a day last week, and what's the other guy's name?
Adam Thielen.
Adam Thielen.
Living on a Thielen.
Living on a Thielen. So I think you're
That
probably.
wasn't. I don't know what reference that was. Living
I don't
on
know.
a Thielen.
I have no idea.
I'm dumb.
I went with it. You are.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson this week.
You're really looking at. You're playing Adam Thielen.
I feel like you have to play Justin Jefferson this week
And-
after the week he had last week.
And Justin Jefferson was the question that I was going to ask you. How comfortable are you with starting him?
I think he's a solid flex with tons of upside. So I feel comfortable flexing him like Justin Jefferson or Russell Gage.
I feel like I would go Justin Jefferson.
I also feel like I would probably go Justin Jefferson this week
Okay.
against the Texans.
So there you go.
Dalvin Cook, a workhorse. Don't worry about him. Kirk Cousins.
Nope.
No, I'm not starting Kirk Cousins. There's better options out. Fitzpatrick. I'd play Fitzpatrick over
I would too.
Kirk Cousins.
All right, Deshaun Watson and the gang of
Misfits. Toys.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with this team. I picked up Jordan Akins.
I did
the tight
too.
end.
I feel like you
Who
can play
somehow-
Jordan Akins this
He
week if
somehow
you need him.
falls into a touchdown almost every week.
Yep.
He's almost the most reliable pass catcher on this team. Will Fuller, Braden. Do you start Will Fuller if he's healthy
If he's healthy.
against the Vikings? Yeah, if he is 100% off the injury report, you flex Will Fuller.
Yes.
If what about Brandon Cooks? Same thing.
If he's healthy, it could be his week.
I don't know what to do with these pass catchers. I'm flexing Will Fuller. I don't
Trade them. You should trade them
Yes.
and
Trade-
save yourself the headache.
That's a good idea. Trade them. Let them. Will Fuller had a good game last week. Make a trade right now for him.
Yeah,
Go trade
literally. Go
Well,
trade
okay,
him.
if you had, would you trade Will Fuller for Justin Jefferson?
Yeah, 100%. I would do that. Yes.
And like, if you had Jefferson, could you maybe be the one like, okay, I'll take Will Fuller? You think you could flip that trade? Is what I'm asking you. Will Fuller for Justin Jefferson?
Man, it would be a hard sell.
I think after last week, maybe after this week, yeah, you can do something like that.
Yeah.
And it'd probably give you less headache. What about
David Johnson, you're playing?
Yeah, you're playing David Johnson. He's an RB2. What's the quarterback's name here?
Deshaun Watson.
That guy.
He's too good. I
Yeah,
think you
you're
play
still
him every
starting-
match. Yeah, every
You're
match.
still playing Watson.
All right, who wins? Oh, battle of the 0 and 3s.
Wow.
The
two-
Offers.
So before the season, these would not be two teams you think would be 0-3.
Nope. Battle of the Offers.
I think the Texans win. I think they're the more talented team. So I think they win.
I'm gonna go Vikings.
Okay. Saints at Lions. I'm the only Saint I'm starting is Alvin Kamara, Braden.
That's the only one I feel comfortable starting.
That's the only one I'm starting.
I feel like you can start Jared Cook if you need a tight end. If you need tight end help, but
Jared
I
Cook
would
is-
rather play Akins from the previous
Jared Cook
from
is-
matchup in from Vikings to Texans.
I was gonna say Jared Cook is injured, so I would be
What
cautious.
I mean, he's gonna play though, right?
I mean, if he doesn't play 100%, are you starting him? Especially in the last couple of weeks without Michael Thomas, where he hasn't actually been productive. I'm not.
No,
I don't.
You're right. So after thinking through that, there's other guys on the waiver wire that I would trust more than Jared Cook.
The best pass catcher on this team is Alvin Kamara right now.
Yes.
And as we saw last week against the Packers, the offense funneled through him right now. It's a lot.
Yep.
So I'm not starting anybody but Alvin Kamara on this team. You could probably find a better option besides Drew Brees as
Manuel
well.
Sanders.
I'm not starting
He had
Emmanuel
he
Sanders.
had a decent game last week.
Yeah, but
How consistent is it?
Yeah, I'm not comfortable starting Emmanuel Sanders. Maybe a low-end flex play, but you're not starting him for anything other than a low-end flex.
Okay.
Matty Stat.
Lions-
Daddy Matty.
The Lions are actually healthy for the first time all season.
Once again, there's only one person on this team I think I'm starting, and it's Kenny Galladay.
You're not starting Matty Stat?
Not against the Saints. I'm not. I'm probably starting Tom Brady over Matthew Stafford in this game.
Marvin Jones?
Marvin Jones has been a disappointment so far.
He has. I think you can still flex him.
And the Saints have two good corners, so even if Galladay's getting some looks, I'm still not comfortable starting Marvin Jones. I'll start Kenny Galladay in this game.
What about Hercules?
Hercules, yeah, only because I think tight end's limited.
Okay.
I'd start Hercules.
That's where I'm at with it. Tight end is limited, and we especially some of you guys are going to be looking for Jonah replacement, and Hercules is a good one. So
what about one of the running backs here? You starting one of them? Adrian Peterson, Kerryon Johnson.
if I'm forced to carry on,
Okay,
but please don't
this could be a revenge game for Adrian Peterson.
please don't twist my arm and make me.
Yeah. Would you rather start a Ravens running back over these guys?
Yes,
Yeah, honestly, me too.
I would. As long as they're named Mark Ingram and J.K. Dobbins.
Saints win.
Lions
The
pull
battle of
the
the 1 and 2 teams.
Lions pull the upset.
The 1 and 2.
I have the
teams.
Lions.
The Lions got the upset last week. They're not going to upset twice.
They're getting it again,
They're
bro.
not going to upset twice.
The
in a
Lions
row.
are out here to show that they're better. They shouldn't
better
be
than
looked
you.
at as an upset when they win.
Browns at Cowboys. I'm starting everybody in this game.
Me too.
The Cowboys games are like that. I feel like we say that every week with the Cowboys games.
Because
But
they're
we're
going to
not
score so many
wrong.
points.
But we're not wrong.
No.
Cedric Wilson had 2 touchdowns. If I had Cedric Wilson, I said start everybody. You probably start Cedric Wilson last week, right?
Yeah. No.
You really are. This could be another shootout. That's what the Cowboys have done every
Don't start
week.
Cedric Wilson.
The Cowboys, I wouldn't say honestly. If you're in a super deep league and you have Cedric Wilson,
If you're in
are
a
you
16
dumb for starting him?
If
No.
you're in a 16-team league, start Cedric Wilson.
Do it. I just feel like it's going to be a shootout. Cowboys that's what they're doing this year is slinging the ball around.
Yep. Yeah, you're starting everybody in this game.
I really am.
So who wins?
I have Ben Roethlisberger in a league
Uh-huh.
who's not playing this week. I didn't drop him, but
Are you playing Baker? Actually,
I did. I picked up Baker.
okay.
I picked up Baker. I feel like Cowboys secondary is garbage also. So he's got a good shot as anybody to throw a couple deep passes to Odell. So.
Yep. I actually almost made Odell my start of the week, so that's how confident I am in him.
Okay. Who wins this game, Braden?
Cowboys.
I feel like the Cowboys are the better team.
I think the Cowboys have played a couple really good teams to start, and their record shows it at 1-2. They very well could have started out 0-3. And the Browns, I'm not sure how good they are. I'm not exactly sold yet.
Yeah, they did beat the Washington football team and the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, I'm not sold on that.
I'm not either. Cowboys win. Jaguars at Bengals. Who are you starting in this game, Braden?
James Robinson.
James Robinson. Okay.
And I'm starting DJ Chark if he plays.
I don't think I am. I don't think I'm starting a pass catcher on the Jaguars. Maybe Keelan Cole because he's kind of been that guy. Maybe low-end flex Keelan Cole. I would play Keelan Cole over DJ Chark this week.
That is wild to me.
Is it though?
It's wild,
this year so
bro.
far, it's been Keelan Cole over DJ Chark. And he's not hurt.
Yeah, he's been hurt though.
Well, that's what I'm doing. You starting Minshew? Minshew's solid.
Yeah,
Minshew's a solid QB play.
yeah. You can start Minshew. He had a little downer, little puh last week,
A little putt.
but he's fine.
What
You
about on the Bengals? Tyler
Those-
Boyd. You're starting Tyler out of all the pass catchers there. Who are you most confident in? Tyler Boyd.
Probably Tyler Boyd.
Tyler Boyd is the most confident pass catcher on this team. AJ Green gets looks. So far, he hasn't done a whole lot with him.
Yeah, exactly. He's still the leading. He's still leading the team in targets,
Okay.
and they are valuable targets still in the red zone. They are getting closer to connecting on more of those. So I just wait for it. He will have a blow up game. It may be week 6, week 7.
Okay.
But I mean, hold on to AJ Green. Even if he has a bad week, don't drop him.
Yeah. I would wait definitely a few more weeks before I thought about that.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow, you're starting. Joe Burrow's been a stud quarterback so far just because of so many attempts. What about Drew Sample?
No,
Got 1 pass for 1 target.
no,
1 target,
I
1
am
pass
not.
last week.
I am not starting Drew. I actually dropped Drew Sample and picked up somebody else.
Yeah, he was. I want to see more consistent games before you pick him back up. So yeah, I'm okay with dropping Drew Sample. Joe Mixon, I just traded for last week in the league. I haven't given up on him yet. I'm starting Joe Mixon.
I
I
still
still feel like he's going to have a breakout game at some
Yeah.
point. He's going to come back to an RB1. I hope. I really need him to.
he's too good.
Especially in this game. It's not a hard defensive game. I'm starting Joe Mixon this game. Yes. Hands down. Who wins this game, Brady?
This could be his get back on track game.
Yeah, I think the Bengals actually get their first win here.
Me too.
Okay. Colts at Bears.
I think
The 3-0 Bears and the 2-1 Colts. Which team is actually a better team?
well, now that you have Santa Claus on
No, say he.
on the Bears, you know.
I hate Nick Foles. He's not even the. Whatever. Let's start with the Colts. Are you starting Phillip Rivers? See a good play this week. Probably not as good of a play this week as he was last week.
I'm not starting Phillip Rivers.
He's a streaming option.
He's a streaming QB.
I wouldn't be happy with him as my number one quarterback.
Absolutely not.
Jonathan Taylor is workhorse. Week in, week out. It's going to be. What about Mo Alley Cox? Tight end here.
I actually picked him up in 2 different leagues, and I'm playing him in every league that I have him in.
So going forward in the season, is he a tight end starter?
Until proven otherwise, yes.
Okay. No, I agree. I like it. What about wide receivers here? It's been a very rough year for T.Y. Hilton.
It has, man.
But there's almost nobody else here to catch the ball at this point.
T.Y. and Zach Pascal, you can flex both of them.
Yeah, I'm starting to get a little worried about T.Y. I know this is week 4, but I'm a little worried about him. If would you buy low on T.Y.? Do you think he's going to bump back up, or is Phillip Rivers just not the kind of guy? This team's not the kind of team.
I don't think that Phillip Rivers has what it takes to support T.Y. at this stage.
You're not dropping T.Y. by any means, but you're keeping him on your roster as a flex play. He's not going to be your wide receiver 2. He shouldn't be your wide receiver 2.
Yep.
But you're not dropping him. Keep him on your roster. I think you can flex him here, but I'm concerned a little bit. Dave Montgomery, hands down starter. No questions.
No questions asked. Nope.
What about Allen Robinson? I have questions.
You have questions.
Because I don't think Nick Foles is a good quarterback.
I think Allen Robinson is a great play.
Against this good Colts defense?
It's fine.
It's been a good defense.
They have Santa Claus.
Oh, my gosh.
Allen Robinson will have good games. You're playing Allen Robinson, and you are who's Anthony Miller? I mean, are you playing? Are you flexing?
Not in this game. Honestly, I'm not. I am worried about Allen Robinson this game.
Are you playing him?
No,
you're not playing Allen Robinson. If you have him, you're sitting him.
I might against this good Colts defense, and it's a backup quarterback in the game.
No,
it's a backup quarterback in the game. He's literally the definition of backup quarterback in the game.
Okay. Are you playing Phillip Rivers or Nick Foles this week?
Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield. That's who I'm playing this week. Hands down.
I'm playing Nick Foles. Bears win.
Colts win. Bears are not a 4-0 team, Braden. I'm sorry. Cardinals at Panthers. D-Hop was a little questionable. Not worried about him. I think he's missed 2 games in his whole career. Starting D-Hop, starting Kyler. Kenyon Drake. I'm starting to wonder what's going on here. He hasn't had that big breakout RB1 game yet, and he was drafted as an RB1 in almost every league.
He was.
After this week, kind of depending on what happens, if he has a good breakout game, I might be looking to sell a little bit high on Kenyon Drake in some of my leagues. Honestly, I'm a little worried. This offense could be a lot like the Ravens offense last year, where it runs through. Maybe a little different. Kyler's going to run more this year than he did last year.
He will, yes.
And D-Hop,
that's been proven.
Yes, and D-Hop demands so much
volume
that Kenyon Drake is just, here, you get a couple carries a game. Do something with them. If you don't, we don't need you. We have D-Hop. So
I think that the longer the year goes on, the farther they get into the year, I should say, the more that they will start relying on the running game and building a scheme for the offense. So I'm not pressing the panic button yet.
I'm not yet. He's been solid. He's fallen into a couple touchdowns. He hasn't hurt you with like 0 points or 4 points.
My panic button will officially be pressed if in 2 weeks he has not had a breakout game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. Like I'm watching. I kind of hope he has a breakout game this week. If he has a big one, and if it's consistent, maybe the week after. Okay, I'm sitting on Kenyon Drake. Maybe it's time for him to go. That's really it on the Cardinals at this point.
Agreed.
D-Hop and Kyler for sure starts. Kyler had a bad game last week. He'll be fine. Everybody has a bad game. Kenyon Drake, you're still starting him as your RB1 because that's what you drafted him as, right? If you drafted King,
Yeah,
you
you're
probably
not-
don't have another RB1.
You're
to start
starting.
over.
Yeah, you're starting.
All
right.
Panthers.
All right. Are you? Mike Davis is the only one that I'm actually confident in.
I like Robbie Anderson here too, though.
Okay.
Robbie Anderson. I'll start Robbie Anderson as like my wide receiver too.
Yeah. No, that's fine. I like that. DJ Moore is not what you drafted him to be.
No, and I told you he wasn't going to be what he was last year.
We were both down on him.
New quarterback, new offense, new head coach, new everything. And I don't even think he's the wide receiver one necessarily on the team at this point. But it's solid. If you have DJ Moore, I feel confident starting him.
He's going to do enough. He won't leave you high and dry.
Yes, he's not going to.
But he's
finish
also
the top 10 wide receiver this year.
He's not the number one wide receiver that you more than likely drafted.
So
him at.
I feel confident starting him as like a wide receiver 2, or if I have a flex. I don't think he's down to flex status yet. I think he's a wide receiver 2. I'm okay starting him with not really any questions. You just don't expect. He may have a couple breakout games here and there, but you're not expecting the big volume numbers like he had last year.
Yep.
Mike Davis, yes, I'm starting Mike.
Starting Mike Davis.
Starting Mike Davis. That's about it.
Who wins the game?
The Cardinals win.
I got Cardinals.
Kyler Murray's gonna come back because he's angry, little short, angry dude. Okay.
All right. Moving on to the
Los Giants.
Los Giants and Los Rams.
The Rams.
So we are playing our Rams and we are not playing our Giants.
Yes.
Sound about right?
That's it.
Cool.
What about Malcolm Brown?
No,
I'm starting Malcolm Brown.
I'm not.
I'll play Malcolm Brown because the Rams are going to get ahead and they're going to need to run the ball.
He barely got any work last week.
Yeah, but if Cam Akers doesn't play again, this is going to be.
It could be.
Hey, last week was a hard game for them though. They were playing the Bills. They came back from behind and had to pass the ball to catch up. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
This game, I feel
yeah.
like it's going to be a blowout. It's going to be a lot more run heavy. Darrell Henderson and some Malcolm Brown.
He could be a good flex option.
Yeah, I'm starting literally all my Rams this week. Tyler Higbee, Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, Giants. I'm not starting any of them.
You're not starting anybody on the Giants.
Do you have to start Evan Ingram?
No.
No, you could probably get Dalton Schultz or Evan Ingram.
Dalton Schultz.
I agree. You got Aaron Donald.
The only one that I'm really like maybe you flex is Darius Slayton.
Yeah, maybe.
So
I
you can flex Darius Slayton. That's about it. Rams win.
Rams win. Giants are garbage.
Bills at the Raiders.
So both Raiders starting wide receivers, Henry Ruggs and Brian Edwards. I believe Brian Edwards is out. Henry Ruggs is questionable. Bills are really good. Their defense is really good.
They are.
I'm just going to start by saying I think the Bills win, but the only people I'm starting on the Raiders are Darren Waller and Josh Jacobs.
Correct.
It should be every week. Ruggs, I'm not starting this week. Brian Edwards, I've actually dropped off all my teams. So,
Oof.
yeah, rough for me. Bills, I would almost say you start all your Bills at this point. Their offense is rolling. Stephon Diggs, John Brown hurt me last week.
He also got hurt last week.
Yes, he got hurt last week and hurt me. I'm starting John Brown this week. I'm flexing John Brown. What about Cole Beasley?
No. Not playing Cole Beasley.
A low-end flex play, Cole Beasley.
Not playing Cole Beasley.
Low-end flex play. Singletary, you're playing.
You cannot talk me into it.
Singletary, you're playing.
Yes.
What about Zach Moss? Maybe hold off this week.
I think
Singletary had such a good week last week. Zach Moss is coming off injury.
I think you hold off on the Zach Moss play. You're for sure starting Singletary. He had a great week last week. He looked good. Bills win.
Yeah. I also think Bills win. Bills are –
And Josh Allen's an auto start, just so we're all clear.
Yeah.
So-
Bills are my AFC championship team against the Chiefs this year. Watch.
Ooh. Do they beat him?
I haven't got there yet. I haven't thought that far ahead.
Ah.
AFC championship, Bills, Chiefs. It's going to be good.
All right.
Josh Allen's playing like MVP this year.
He's playing.
He is. Patriots at Chiefs. Ooh. It's gonna be a good game, Braden.
It will be a good
It's
game.
gonna be a good game.
You're starting
It's gonna be a
Cam.
good game. You start Cam. He's got to sling it to catch up to Pat Mahomes or run the ball a lot. That's
Well,
right too.
and people are going to be saying, but that's what you said last week with Lamar. And Lamar had a trash game.
I don't remember saying Lamar was gonna sling it all over the place. I don't remember saying that.
No, but like it's assumed.
Yeah, but the Patriots are a well-coached team. They will know what they need to do to win this game. If they need to run the ball with Cam, they will do that. If they need to pass against the Chiefs like they did the Seahawks, then they will do that. I don't feel like they're just going to get blown out. The Patriots don't have games like the Ravens had the other day where they just get in a rut and stay bad and have a bad game. That doesn't really happen to the Patriots.
So my two people I'm starting on the Patriots, Julian Edelman and Cam.
Yes.
I'm not really touching anybody else.
I'm pretty sure we've told everybody to not start any Patriots running backs all year.
And it's worked out because
some of them have had good games.
Yeah, but you didn't play them.
No, because you didn't know which one was going to have a good
I
game.
promise you didn't. You did not play the one that had the good game.
If you have Rex Burkhead, trade him right now. You can get something
Yes.
for Rex Burkhead.
Yes.
I promise you. Chiefs, you're starting all your Chiefs.
You always start all your Chiefs.
Always start all your
including
Chiefs.
Sammy Watkins.
Including Mecole Hardman. Yes.
Yes. You're flexing him.
Flex him. You're starting all your Chiefs. Their offense is that good. Eagles, you're sitting all your Eagles.
Here, moving on.
No. Who wins that game, though?
Chiefs.
I don't think the Chiefs go 16-0.
Pat Mahomes is playing too good, man.
I don't think the Chiefs go 16-0. I think the Patriots might get one here. I think they might.
Are you calling it?
I like the Chiefs.
Are you calling it?
Bill Belichick knows how to beat good teams. I think the Patriots might. I'll call the Patriots right here.
Oh,
Who else are the Chiefs going to lose to?
nobody.
They're not going 16-0. It's not going to happen.
Hey, they're going to go 16-0 and win the Super Bowl.
Be better than Patriots, huh?
I'm calling it right now. Pat Mahomes is the greatest quarterback of all time already.
Okay. I could see the Patriots getting this one. I could. Eagles at Niners, 49ers.
The people are hey, I don't know if you've noticed this. People are starting to hate on Patrick Mahomes.
Because he's the only one having a good year this year, Braden.
People are starting to
He
hate on
signed $500 million.
Everybody's rooting for him last year. And all of a sudden, as soon as you succeed consistently on a consistent basis, people start hating you.
2020 has been good for nobody. He won the Super Bowl. He's getting married.
He has
He
having a
signed
kid.
$500 million contract.
He's having a kid.
His fiance is pregnant. He is like just really good at football and doesn't even lose. And he's the only one having a good year in the whole world. It's great.
Actually,
Eagles at 49ers.
That's super true.
Eagles at 49ers.
He's the only person in the world having a good year.
Pat, you're making us look bad. Everybody look bad. Carson Wentz looks bad without that. The Eagles have looked like garbage. Last week, I want to say they got rolling a little bit, but still ended up tying.
So you're
The Bengals?
You're starting Miles Sanders and Zach Ertz.
Yes.
And I'm done there.
Yeah,
I'm not flexing Greg Ward.
I think he's a sneaky flex play.
Not against the Niners defense.
I think he's a sneaky flex play. But that's really it. Yeah, you're right. 49ers. It's Jerick McKinnon and Jeff Wilson.
My name is
and George Kittle.
Yep.
What about Nick Mullins here, Braden? Would you stream Nick Mullins, quarterback? I would.
Yeah, you can.
Did you see the only?
I'm going to ask you the all-important – what? Tell me.
I saw a stat the other day. In a quarterback's first 14 career starts, only 2 quarterbacks have like over 10,000 yards. It's Patrick Mahomes and Nick Mullins.
Are you serious?
Yeah. It's something like that. Yeah.
That is wild.
I would not flex Nick Mullins. I would stream Nick Mullins.
I am going to ask you the all-important question.
Oh boy.
Nick Mullins
Oh boy. Or Nick Foles.
or Santa Claus?
Oh my God. Nick Mullins. 100%.
You're out of your mind.
100%.
This man has
Why?
lost his –
do
he's
not
off his
understand-
rocker.
I do not understand Nick Foles.
He's off his rocker. All right.
understand Nick Foles hype.
All
I
right.
understand it.
So
it's-
starting the 49ers running
It's
backs.
the running backs and
You
George
can, you
Kittle.
can you can start Nick Mullins and you're starting George Kittle.
What about Brandon Ayuk?
I would
flex Ayuk.
I'm not flexing him.
I would flex Ayuk. They got him. They made plays to get him the ball. I would flex Ayuk. Do the 49ers pull out another win here with
Yeah,
their backups?
49ers win.
I'll take that. 49ers win. Eagles suck. 0-3-1.
The other birds,
The Dirty Birds.
the Dirty Birds,
Falcons at Packers.
playing the dirty Packers.
Monday night, October 5th. This game is another blowout, I believe. Another blowout. Or not a blowout, a shootout.
I was
A
confused.
shootout. This game is another shootout. The Falcons know how to score points. They don't know how to stop people from scoring points. The Packers also know how to score points. And
They're
I would say
better.
their defense is good enough to stop people from
They're
scoring
better at
points.
stopping people.
I
from
mean, a
scoring
little
points.
bit. But
You can start everybody, right?
You're
yeah.
sitting Todd Gurley.
Besides Todd Gurley, I agree.
I agree that I'm not starting Todd Gurley.
You-
The
you're
Falcons
playing
wide receivers,
everybody but Todd Gurley.
Falcons wide receivers, I'm starting them all. I'm starting Matt Ryan, Hayden Hurst, starting Hayden Hurst. Oops.
Nice.
Packers.
All right.
Who are you starting on the Packers? Is Devontae? We don't know if Devontae Adams is playing yet. I believe he's questionable. I believe he's doubtful.
Yeah, I think they're gonna save
If
him for next
Devontae
week.
Adams does not play, MVS becomes a must play.
Okay. I'm confused on what I believe from this game
Oh yeah. What do you believe, Braden? Tell me.
because I want to say that Aaron Rodgers was going to light it up again,
Oh yeah.
but he's going to be without Devontae Adams and Alan Lazard.
The lasered.
He was only going to have MVS.
But he's got Aaron Jones.
He does have Aaron Jones, but are they going to just try to run it down the Falcons' throat all day with Aaron Jones? Is this a good week to sit Aaron Rodgers? I mean,
No, I don't think so. I don't think the defense is going to give him any problems. I'm starting MVS. I'm starting Aaron Rodgers. I'm starting Aaron Jones. I might even start Jamal Williams.
yeah, everybody puts up. You're right. Everybody puts up numbers on Falcons defense. So
Robert Tonyan. I honestly can't remember his name right now. The tight end for the Packers.
yeah, you
I might
start
even
him.
play him this week.
Yeah, I think you can start him.
He's another pass catcher that has gained some reliability with Aaron Rodgers so far this season. So yeah, everybody who can catch a pass in this game, besides Todd Gurley, because he can't catch a pass anymore, I'm starting.
Agreed.
And that's how I feel. Steelers Titans
Who wins?
not happening this week. The Packers win because the Falcons can't
Yeah, the Packers
finish the
win.
game. Dude, how funny would it be if the Falcons got ahead again and then blew it again?
Dude,
3 weeks in a row.
if the Falcons are up by 14 points, dude, you know social media is gonna be going wild.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad. Yeah, Titans Steelers to be determined.
We will keep
Reschedule.
you guys updated on that game. Like Nolan said, it'll probably be more towards the middle of the year.
That's where
But
we're
just
at.
treat it as a bye.
That's where we're at. Got anything else, Braden? This has been the Fantasy Football Bandwagon Podcast episode. I don't know what episode it is.
19?
Week 4. 19.
19.
Week 4, start sits. Tell your friends. Tell your mama. Tell your daddy.
Click that bell.
You made it this far. I commend you. I don't know that I barely made it this far. I almost died during the show.
Yeah,
It was pretty
he
bad.
he did. I almost
thanks,
had to
guys.
finish it by myself.
That would be a disaster also. We really appreciate, we see the views, we see the listens. We really appreciate it, guys. It's really cool. We still would like more questions coming out. Honestly, that question was from my brother, if you didn't know that.
We want interaction.
Yes, we want interaction. Interact with us. I will answer every question you guys send. If you want me to direct message, not even just on the podcast. If you're like, hey, 5 minutes before the game starts, hey, did I play this guy?
We'll answer it.
I'll answer it to the best of my ability. So let us know. We really appreciate it. Thanks for jumping on the bandwagon, and peace out.